Everyone knows Ethereum is the undisputed king of decentralized finance. But what if the king's reign is being quietly challenged by a technology that's completely rewriting the rules of speed? While Ethereum users get bogged down by high fees and congestion, something new is bubbling up. For years, Kaspa has been famous as the fastest proof-of-work crypto out there. The only problem? No smart contracts. It was a speed demon with nowhere to race. Until now. So, does Kaspa's wild BlockDAG architecture have what it takes to challenge the Titan, or is a completely different story unfolding? First things first, you have to respect the champion. Ethereum isn't just a platform, it's a sprawling digital metropolis. The vast majority of DeFi lives here, with the total value locked in the ecosystem hovering between $88 and $95 billion, which makes up the lion's share of the entire DeFi market. Thousands of apps, from lending to exchanges, are built on its foundation, creating a vibrant, battle-tested world. But that success has come with a price. Ethereum's popularity has pushed its own infrastructure to the breaking point. It's a classic case of the blockchain trilemma, that tricky balancing act between decentralization, security, and scalability. Ethereum has always chosen to maximize decentralization and security, which means scalability has taken a back seat. For you and me, that's not some abstract theory. It creates real headaches. During peak times, using Ethereum feels like being stuck in a digital traffic jam. Gas fees can rocket from a few bucks to over 100, making a small $20 transfer totally pointless. And confirmation times can stretch from seconds into minutes, which feels like forever in the world of finance. Of course, the Ethereum community isn't just sitting around. Its roadmap is packed with upgrades, and a huge ecosystem of Layer 2 solutions now bundles transactions off-chain to ease the load. These L2s can hit thousands of transactions per second, but they also make the user experience more complicated and fragmented. So while the king is busy fortifying his castle, the main road into the city is still congested, leaving the door open for a new kind of challenger. This is where Kaspa steps into the ring, not with a slightly faster blockchain, but with a whole new blueprint. Instead of a single linear chain of blocks, Kaspa uses something called a BlockDAG, or a directed acyclic graph. Think of it this way. A traditional blockchain like Bitcoin or Ethereum is a single-lane road. Every car or block has to follow the one in front of it, one at a time. If there's a traffic jam, everybody waits. Kaspa's BlockDAG is more like a multi-lane superhighway. It allows tons of blocks to be created and confirmed at the same time, in parallel. The network then uses a clever protocol called BlockDAG to weave all these parallel blocks into one unified history. The result is a massive leap in performance. While Ethereum's mainnet chugs along at about 30 transactions per second, Kaspa is built for speed. After its crescendo upgrade, the mainnet now operates at 10 blocks per second, with a clear roadmap toward 32 and even 100 blocks per second in the future. This means transaction confirmations in seconds, not minutes, basically eliminating the bottleneck that plagues single-chain designs. And here's the kicker. It does all this while sticking to a pure proof-of-work system, the same model that secures Bitcoin. This is a huge deal for those who worry about the centralizing forces of proof-of-stake, which Ethereum now uses. Kaspa was also launched with no pre-mine and no pre-sales, earning it a reputation as one of the fairest and most decentralized projects in years. For a long time, all this speed was just potential. Kaspa was incredibly fast, but it was basically just for sending money back and forth. It didn't have smart contracts, which are the absolute bedrock of any DeFi ecosystem. But that's starting to change. The big move has been the push to build Layer 2 solutions on top of Kaspa that are compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine. This means developers can take their existing apps, written in Ethereum's language, and deploy them on Kaspa's high-speed rails. But let's be real for a second. Despite the excitement, Kaspa's DeFi ecosystem is in its very early days. While projects are launching and giving us a first glimpse of what's possible, it's more of a quiet frontier than a bustling financial hub. Contrary to some of the hype, the numbers show a project that's just getting started. The ecosystem has grown to over 100 dApps, with more than 90,000 daily active addresses, which is impressive. But the total value locked in Kaspa's DeFi is still under $100 million, a tiny drop in the bucket compared to Ethereum's massive economy. Kaspa's journey into DeFi is just beginning. The weapons are being forged, but the army is still gathering. So we've got a titan with a massive but strained kingdom and a lightning-fast challenger just starting to build its army. This is where the debate gets fun. If you're getting value from this breakdown, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps these deep dives reach more people. Now let's put them head to head. When you line these two up side by side, the differences are stark. They really represent two completely different philosophies. First, speed. On the base layer, it's not even a contest. Kaspa is currently running at 10 blocks per second and aims for a future that could handle tens of thousands of transactions with near-instant confirmations, all on layer 1. Ethereum's mainnet is stuck at around 30 TPS, and its entire scaling plan relies on a complex web of layer 2s. Kaspa's goal is to deliver that speed directly, creating a much simpler experience. That speed directly affects the second metric, fees. Kaspa's design is meant to keep transaction fees super low. We're talking fractions of a cent. This makes things like micropayments actually possible, which are just a non-starter on Ethereum's mainnet. For Ethereum, high fees are a chronic issue its L2-focused roadmap is constantly trying to bandage. Third, decentralization. This one is more nuanced. Kaspa's commitment to proof of work, a fair launch with no pre-mined tokens, and having nearly 95% of its total supply already in circulation are huge points in its favor. It avoids many of the centralization risks critics point to in proof of stake. On the other hand, Ethereum's ecosystem of developers, nodes, and token holders is just massively distributed because of its age and scale. It's a different kind of decentralization that only time can build. After looking at the numbers, a head-to-head versus battle starts to feel like the wrong way to look at this. Kaspa isn't trying to do what Ethereum already does. It's probably not going to be the new home for multi-billion-dollar giants like Aave or Uniswap, which need the deep liquidity and proven security of Ethereum. Instead, a much more interesting idea is a future where Kaspa complements Ethereum instead of competing with it. Kaspa seems perfectly positioned to be a specialized layer for a whole new class of apps that just can't run on Ethereum today. Think about things that need insane speed and almost no cost. Real-time payments in online games, data streams from IoT devices, or high-frequency trading where every millisecond is money. In this multi-chain world, Kaspa could be the high-speed engine. It could handle billions of tiny, frequent transactions, while Ethereum remains the secure settlement layer for high-value assets and the core logic of DeFi. So, can Kaspa compete with Ethereum in DeFi? The honest answer is no, at least not in the way most people imagine a fight. It isn't here to be the next Ethereum. The gap in maturity, money, and developers is just too massive to close anytime soon. But that's the wrong question. Kaspa's BlockDAG offers something completely different. It's a bet on a future where blockchain speed isn't a feature, but a necessity. While Ethereum solidifies its role as the secure backbone for high-value finance, Kaspa is trying to become the nervous system for a world of real-time, decentralized activity. It's not an Ethereum killer, it's an enabler for things we haven't even thought of yet.